In the small town of Ravenswood, a group of teenagers decided to explore an abandoned house on the outskirts of town. The house had a dark history, as it was rumored to have belonged to a family who practiced witchcraft and had been executed for their crimes. As the teenagers made their way through the house, they heard strange noises and felt a presence watching them. They brushed it off as their imagination and continued exploring. However, as they reached the basement, they found a hidden room filled with dusty tomes and strange artifacts. One of the teenagers picked up an old book and began to read from it. Suddenly, the room filled with a bright light and a figure appeared before them. It was a woman dressed in tattered robes, with a twisted smile on her face. The teenagers were frozen with fear as the woman spoke to them, telling them that they had unwittingly summoned her and that she would claim their souls as her own. The teenagers tried to run, but the woman was too powerful. She chased them through the house, her laughter echoing through the halls. Just as they thought they were doomed, they stumbled upon a hidden room filled with ancient weapons. They armed themselves and prepared to fight back. But just as they were about to face the woman, she suddenly disappeared, leaving behind only a pile of ash. Confused and relieved, the teenagers made their way out of the house and back to town. As they were walking through the streets, they noticed that something was off. The town was eerily quiet and the people they encountered seemed strange and distant. Suddenly, they heard a loud noise and turned around to see the woman from the house standing before them, her twisted smile even wider than before. But this time, something was different. As the woman spoke, her voice grew weaker and weaker until she finally vanished into thin air. It was then that the teenagers realized that they had been under a powerful spell, and the woman they had encountered was nothing more than an illusion. They had been tricked into believing that they had summoned a powerful witch, when in reality they had simply stumbled upon an old book of illusions. The teenagers chuckled at their own gullibility, but as they looked around the town, they realized that things were still not quite right. The surprise ending. The teenagers had been under a spell all along, and the real horror was yet to come.